Today's agenda is sharing and security model. Okay. So for that, I'll show you one funnel chart. Okay. So you can imagine that the whatever component at the bottom of this chart is to restrict the access, and whatever at the top is to grant more access, like a to restrict and to permit more access. Okay. So at the bottom of this chart is profile, right? And on the right side you would see the object level and record level. There are two components basically. There are two types of giving access to any user, may at object level or at record level. So mainly we can divide access into two parts. One is at object level, one is at record level. So let's note down. Okay. Two types of access, that is, one is object level. Okay. And one is record level. So whenever we say object level, that means it is related to metadata. Okay. Like who can see what, which object. Okay. And record level, that means actual data. Okay. So at profile you can grant access to any user at object level, not what kind of records he can see. Okay. So which object he can see, or what additional things he can do in the org, that is decided in the profile. Okay. And same with the permission set. It's just that it cannot restrict access in the permission sets. Okay. But in profile you can restrict the access. For example, if I don't want to give access to any specific object, I can do that here. If I remove access from the profile for that specific object, it will not be visible. Whatever you do, like what kind of access from here this chart you give, it will not work, because at the bottom it's profile, so everything starts with the profile level access. Okay. And then as we go up, it starts to widen up the access. Like at the profile, if I don't give access to any specific thing or any specific object or field, then I can use along with the profile the permission sets or permission set groups. Okay. And in that I can give additional access. So if I restrict here, I'll enable here, and then the user will get the access. As we go up, there are many other components, right? This is after the permission set, there is OWD, that is org wide defaults. We will see one by one, but just I am just explaining a chart. Okay. And today we are just going to cover profile and permission sets, but for you to know, there are other components as well which we need to cover in next sessions. So OWD, someone has joined. Okay. So OWD is to give uh, access like a private public read only or public read write. Okay. At a space to specific object. Then comes role hierarchy. So if you remember, on user record we have an option to assign a role, specific role. So the main purpose of that is like you can create a hierarchy, like we have in our organizations, right? There is a manager, or like there is a CEO, then the VP, then vice VP or something like that, right? And accordingly, like CEO has the highest access, then comes the managers, then the developers, architects, like that. So whoever at the bottom gets the least access, and whoever at the top gets the higher access. And based on the role hierarchy, we can give additional access to the user. Okay. For specific records. Then comes the sharing rule. Here there are two parts. One is a record owner based sharing and criteria based sharing. So based on who is the owner of the record, access would can be given. Also we can use criteria based sharing. That means you can specify, like if status is equal to completed, right? If it matches, then give access, or then make that record visible to specific users. Okay. Then comes manual sharing rule. So it gives a ability to just using just point and click, okay, you can give access to specific records, and you can transfer the ownership of that record, for example account or opportunity or any other object. So this the main purpose of all this uh, different types of levels of access is because there are different agents for example are working, and someone is on leave or because of any reason he is not available, then who can handle that specific requirement, right? So at that specific moment, records sharing is used, or like records ownership can be transferred to other agents and they will take care of those issues or those requirements, right? Then comes the team sharing rule. So here we can create different teams for specific opportunity for specific account, and we can add users there, and then accordingly we can give access like whether it can be read only or read write or whatever. Okay, then comes the territory management. Okay, then comes the public group. Public group is simple. Territory management is like depend on the location access can be given. In public group we can create one group of users and directly give access to specific group, right? And if access is given to specific group, whatever comes under that group will get the access. Okay, then comes the folder access. So in this specific folder access section, there are different components like reports, dashboards, or document, email communication templates, email templates, which are used while sending an email. So for that, all those components are stored in a folder. You can create that folder. So directly on the folder level also you can give the access, and this is at the top. That means once it is given, we don't have to worry about all this. Okay, so that is most permissive and that is most restrictive. Any questions in this? No. Okay, just pay attention to the colors, right? So whenever there is object level and profile and permission set, they have the same color, right? So that means we are giving metadata level access using object level access, and with record level we are actually sharing the records with other users. Okay, I am going to share this with you, so don't worry about that. So let's start with first with the profiles. Okay, so please keep in mind whenever we say object and whenever we say record level. Okay, okay, let's get back to our org, and my screen is visible, right? I'm sharing my developer org screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay, uh, okay, so let's go to users, and then we will see profiles. Okay, so yeah, yeah, there are roles, there are profiles, right? I'm going to I'm navigating to system admin profile. So this is by default available by Salesforce, right? Whenever we create a new developer org. So system admin has highest access, whatever everything is accessible via system administrator profile. But we are going to see how or like we will get one profile with the very minimum access, and then we will start opening up the access. Okay, so for that we need to create one more user, and inside window we will see how we can how it looks like whenever that user do not have any access. Okay, what is the name? So I have already created one, but you might need to create a new user, or I think in first session I gave that assignment, right, to create a new user, right, with the same system admin profile. So you can use that same. Just do one thing, just go to that user, okay, and change the profile. Okay, here I have already created one custom profile one. Same way you can create it and change it. And role you can put as whatever you want. Use user license as Salesforce. Okay, I'm going to log in as this user from another incognito window. Okay, so I will navigate to the profiles, and I have created one profile as a custom profile one. Okay, so I have already created, but I would suggest um, to use one predefined profile. Okay, and clone it, and then change as per your, or set the name as per you want. Okay, so there is one minimum access profile. Go to this, open it in another window, and just clone it and create a new custom profile. So here there is a button, clone, right? So minimum access Salesforce, that is the profile name, license is same, and profile name. Okay, so let's keep it, and let's get back to the custom profile. One more thing, that currently in your developer org, the look and feel of the profile would be different. Okay, so for that, to appear like this, whatever I'm showing on my screen, is that you need to go to user interface. Okay, and there is one, or advanced. Mhm. Okay, let's Google it. I don't remember. Enable the enhanced profile user interface. Yeah, this one. Okay, user management setting. So from setup, you need to search this user management setting, and okay, it is under users, and here is there is option, right? Enhanced profile user interface. Right, it gives the ability to browse, search, and modify settings and permission in profile. Okay, so you just need to enable this checkbox. Okay, if I, let's see, if I disable it, how it looks like. Okay, so currently it is showing like this, and if I, let me open it again, system administrators profile, this is also system admin, right? Right, the look is changed. You don't have the ability to search, while in this one you can directly search any component, right? And it is grouped in like different sections, like apps or object settings, and other many parameters like system permissions, right? So that's the use of that change, that checkbox. I will revert it. Let's refresh the page again, and we'll see the difference. Okay, so this is a standard Salesforce documentation, right? So you can use the same method, right? always follow this. It's very useful. I'll keep it as it is, or like I'll share on Drive, so don't worry about that. Let's check our newly created custom profile, and we'll see the comparison first. Or let it be. Let's continue with our this components first. Okay. So in first entry is assigned apps. Okay. So if you remember, whenever we create any new app, that time we get the ability, like get the option to select to which profiles we want to show this app, right? Give the visibility of specific to that profile, right? So if I click on this assigned apps, you see the same thing, right? But it gives you the ability from one point to control all the apps, right? You don't have to navigate to each app and then check it and then change the setting. Now you can see all tabs, or the apps that I created, right? Test app, or this is Abhay has created WDC, right? And here for this custom profile, there is no access to any app. Okay, forget about the standards ones. Okay, let's check only the customs. Now it is access is not given. Okay, so now let's get back to the to the user with having the same profile, and the name is limited access user. Okay, this is the new user I created with this custom profile one. Okay, and as you see, there is nothing I can see on my screen because I haven't given any access, but the apps are visible, whatever those are standards that comes by default, like all these where there is a checkbox, right? And let's remove some, like for example, what is there available first? Marketing CRM classic. Okay, let's remove the access. Marketing CRM classes, that's it. Save, back, refresh, right? It's gone, right? So this is the way you can access the control to apps. Now what I'll do is I'll edit it and give access to test app 1. Save it. Right. This is the way you should follow, like in this is your assignment. Okay, so after the session, try the same process, exactly whatever I'm showing. Now search for test app. Now it's visible, right? But still I don't see anything because we haven't given access to any tab in it or any object, right? You don't see account, students, cars, anything. Okay, so let's go back to profile overview and we will see the next setting. This connected app, assigned connected app, is for mainly used for any party application trying to access your API. Okay, so this is mainly used for the integrations. So for example, there is ETL application wants to access the API, whether it's a standard or custom one. They need to that communication flows via connected apps, and connected apps is a point where you can configure the parameters, like how to grant the access or what is the authorization you want to provide or apply. Okay, whether it's 2.0 or it's a basic authorization or authentication. Okay, so for now let's ignore this part. We'll check the second one, that is object setting, right? Yeah, here you can see all the objects. Okay, and in second column it's API name. Then what is the current permission on this profile? There is no access, that's why we are not able to see anything. Then there are total fields, then the tab is hidden, right? So that's why even I have access to the test tab, I don't see any tab here, right? And then varies by record type, that is a page layout. Okay, if you remember, like last session we did create two profiles, sorry, two record types, individual and business, right? And accordingly layouts will be displayed the same way. Let's check for the student. Here is a custom object, so it's double underscore c, tab is hidden, and just only one layout, student, right? The main point is like there is no access to any object, right? Okay, so let's start by giving access. Click on the account and you will see one structure where you can specify the permissions, right? The first is tab setting, so let's enable it first, right? Tab is hidden, I'll just make it default on and save, right? Let's get back to test app, right? Still not visible. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, now next is account, record type and page layout assignments. Don't have to change anything here. Okay, then go to object permissions, right? So what kind of permissions are given to specific user who is using this profile, right? So you, this user do not have any kind of access, not read, create or edit or anything. So let's give one read access at least, and then we will see how it looks on limited access user screen. Let's give the read access. The other accesses are like it's self-explanatory, like with read you can just read, it becomes read only. Create, with create you can create new account. Edit, you can edit it. Delete, you will get the ability to delete it. Then this view all and modify all will give you access, or maybe I'll explain this later because it is dependent on other setting. Okay, so just ignore, just remember first four permissions only. Then the next section is field permissions. So whatever fields we create, we can decide the visibility of those fields, right? Whether even if you get access to object as a read or created it, but if you don't get access to this profile, then so this field, then it will not be visible on your page layout. Okay, whenever you see a detail page, you will not be able to see it. Let's save it and let's go back to uh, limited users screen and let's refresh. It should be visible, not yet. Okay. um, okay, I think there is something else that should be checked. Let's give access to both record types. Okay, tab setting is on, we are giving access to both record types. Okay, let's save it. Tab is visible. So the access is there, it is reflecting. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so after giving record type access, I am able to see, right, this accounts. Now click on it, right, navigate to any list view. right? I'm able to see it, right? That's it. Okay. Now there is one setting that I think I have enabled. It's sharing setting. Yeah. So yesterday I think I changed this one. It should be private. Okay. So view and modify all these two permissions are dependent on this org wide sharing defaults. Okay. This is OWD from this chart. This, and from this point it starts to open up the access, like gives more wider access. Okay. So I did something. I changed this account and contracts internal access to public read write. Okay, so that's why I'm able to see. Now I'm changing it to private, and let's see what is the result. So here, if I refresh, right, and if I click on accounts, still I'm able to see it. Okay, ideally I should not be if it is a private account. Okay, so it's gone, right? It takes some time to reflect, but yeah, it's gone, right? I don't see any accounts here, right? And even I don't have the ability, or like I cannot see new button here or any kind of button, right? Because this is more restricted access. We have just opened up a read access, and uh, the OWD setting that I showed is private. Okay, it is also not reflecting. Let's refresh first, because OWT takes some time. There was some notification at the top that it will take some time. Okay, so it is private now. Account and contracts. Forget about this contract. Account access is private. The meaning of private is only the creator or the owner of the record can see that record. Uh, yeah, only record owner can see a record. That is the meaning of private. Then comes public read only. Then meaning of this is everyone who has the access to object can see record. Okay, and there is public read write. So just an additional permission of editing along with the read here. Okay, clear? It will take some time for you to understand maybe. Okay, but this is the meaning, and this comes under OWT. Okay, that is the three settings you can set, and it opens up the record level access. So whenever we say this record level, right, so that means we are giving start to give access to data. And in object level, right, in we saw in profile that we are opening access at object, like which object user can see and which fields in that specific object he can see, right? So here we are opening up object level access to account object with the object permission as read to account, and then the field permissions, right? But at the same time there is a sharing setting, that is OWD, which is private, right? That's why user cannot see other owners record, because the users are different. Whenever we say owner, that means the user who created that record, right? Here in okay, let's go to the test app here, and I'm logged in with the system admin, and system admin has created all those accounts, right? And who is the owner? You can check the ownership here on the page. Go to details tab and see account owner here. So this will decide who is the owner, like it tracks the information basically. And here you won't say anything, because with this user I haven't created any. Okay, so for that to know, let's go to the profile again, and let's give create permission first. Okay, create, save. Now I have not given edit access. Okay, refresh, hope it reflects. Do you see the difference? Right, new button is visible now as soon as I gave create permission. Click on new. I can see both the record types because I gave record type access as well. If I didn't give business or accounts a record type, okay, so then I would see only directly the window where I can put the information. Then it will not ask me to choose individual as there is only one assigned to that specific user's profile. Okay, I'll choose business account, click on next, but still there are some permissions need to be given to this user. Okay, let's try again with individual. Individual account, click on next. Yeah, so there are certain limitations, we'll see that. So I'll create a new one, account name Barclays and nickname is BRC. Okay, save. Right here, so I'm able to create a new record, but you can see that there is no edit option here against any field, or I don't see any buttons, right? I can see only the record. That is only, it becomes only read only access. Okay, and there is no other options, but I can see in all accounts one record is there which I created, because the sharing and setting OWD, that means is private, and private means only the owners can see the record. Okay, now let's go back and give edit access. Hit edit, and I'm giving delete as well. Okay, save it. Okay, it is still not reflecting, but let it be, we'll cover other part. Okay, so now the next section is field permissions, right? So it's the same thing as like this object permissions, whether where you can specify whether it becomes read only or read write, right? So the first column is read access and edit access. So from here also you can control the access, whether it's read or write, and this is for this we call as a field level security. Okay, and to there is one more way you can change it, is like navigating to the specific objects field. Okay, I don't know if you have seen this, but let me show you again. Let's go back to the account fields and permissions, and which one we can choose is, for example, phone or test field, for example. Let's take it and click it. Here you will see set field level security and view field level security field, yeah, will accessibility, sorry. Here you can see, so test field, all fields or names are displayed, right? And first column is for profiles, right, and the record types. So for which profile you want to change it is for custom profile, right here. So here you can see for master, ignore this one, we are now using two other record types. So for that, it is hidden, right? Here also you can see test field has given access, but it's hidden. Okay, it's not refreshed it. Change the field's accessibility. Okay, okay, let me change it. Now it redirect me to the another page where it becomes visible. Okay, and there's a layout, right? And you can specify what is the visibility on the specific layout. Okay, we can make it visible, read only, or required, whatever we want, right? And these are the record types columns, right? Save it. Right, so this is the one way. Okay, there is one more thing you should be aware is where is this used. Okay, with this you can track like what is the dependency of this field, like to which layouts or which classes or which workflow rules or validation rules or reports dashboards where this field is being used, right? If there is any such requirement that you want to delete this field, then you should be aware of this information, and from this where this point you get to know what to do after that. Like you would need to remove that dependency and then you can move ahead and delete it. Okay, yeah. Let's go back to the profile. Now it's visible, and I'm giving, for example, read access to all, or let it be now. Let's open up access for few more like phone, rating. Uh, what else is there? Which is more meaningful is type, then website, and yeah, that's it. Save it. Okay, have it saved. Refresh the page. Still not reflecting. Okay. Let's check the record type. Name is Barclays and type is individual account. Yes. Still not visible. Okay, let's try refresh. My accounts, Barclays, details. No. Okay, let's create a new one then. And it will be individual account. Next. Uh, Save. Can I see? No. But the billing is available, which is a custom link. Okay. Okay, I'll check this. Maybe next session we will see in detail. But yeah, this is the way you can grant the access to profile on profile to specific object permissions and field permissions. Okay. Any questions so far? No. Fine. I think that is enough for today. Okay. Uh, I would suggest check this. Okay. Create first is you need to create a user. Okay, then assign a profile. I'll note it down. Just I think you must have already created this user. Then use minimum access Salesforce profile. Okay, then clone it. Okay, name it anything, maybe cust1 or something. Okay, assign this profile to this user, and then log in with that user. Okay, in incognito window maybe, or any other browser, and then see what is the access you get, what you can do. Then start opening up the access from profile level, from specific object. So you can choose any object at a profile level, like whether it's account. But while doing that, just pay attention to the permissions and what other settings are there. Like this tab setting is hidden earlier, right? Now it's default open as we opened it. Then there is one thing I noticed is like, unless you give access to the record type, it do not show up, right? So just start giving access. Okay, and then see. This is how you will learn. This is very, very, very important actually, while you when you work on any specific project. Okay, there are many requirements like this, and many things are handled at this configuration level only and profiles. Okay, now we are yet to cover many other topics, but I think this is enough for today for you, and this is your assignment. Okay, then we will see like what are class access, prof, and via page access, and there are many more like system permissions. Those are actually very important, but will not be understandable at this point. Okay, then login hours, the IP range, how you can whitelist your IPs, and this session setting, like you can decide how much time your system can be kept idle, and after that it will log out. Then you can decide what is the password you can set. Okay, yeah, I think that is enough for today. Mm, for you to go through it. Okay, yeah, if there are any questions, go ahead, speak up, guys. Yes, no, anything?
Yeah, are you sure? Yeah, this Excel with us?
Yeah, sure, I'll share on drive.
Uh, can you please mention all the step-by-step points navigation here?
Which one exactly?
Like you mentioned in the user choose minimum access Salesforce profile, like clone and
Yeah, it is there. What
mention.
else?
Wait, can you mention all the navigation step by step here?
mm, I would suggest go through recording then. It is already
Oh,
explained everything, right? So, and whatever the issues I faced, right, you will also get the same. So
okay.
yeah, anything else apart from this you want to know, let me know on group then. Yeah, I'll add. Okay, I think if there is no more questions, then we can stop. Okay, thank you. A good day.